to my channel. If you are new, my name is Sandy, and today I wanted to just tell you a little bit about this new thing that's going on called Alpha Gal. And this is baby Hudson. Say hi. Some of you that know me personally know that I have this kind of new disease called Alpha Gal, and I get a lot of questions about it all the time. And what it is it comes from a tick or a chigger bite. And when this tick or chigger bites you, sometimes it's immediate and sometimes it takes months for it to actually have a reaction in your body. And when it does, you actually have several different reactions. And the biggest concern and the biggest reaction is that you are now allergic to all red meat. And people get confused by this and they're like, what do you mean all red meat? When I say all red meat, I mean all red meat. Any mammal-based food is out of the question. At least it is for me. Like I said, everybody's is a little bit different. I know some people that they can have beef, they just can't have pork. For me, I'm allergic to all red meat. And there's varying levels. For instance, I am very mild. I can't actually eat the meat. I can still have milk. I can still have cheese in small quantities. I can't go overboard with it, of course. However, with living in the South, as being an avid hunter, I cannot have, deer, venison, so no jerky for me. It gets very frustrating. There's also different severities with this disease. For instance, I can still go out to normal restaurants and order, as long as it's fish or chicken or turkey, I can still, pretty much get along with whatever is fine. However, I have friends that also have this. It's becoming very prevalent in my area, that they can't even go out to eat because they use the same cooktop to cook beef as they do the shrimp or the chicken. I cannot cook the actual meat. Like, I can cook bacon because I cook my bacon in the oven, but if my husband wants cheeseburgers, I cannot cook the cheeseburgers. I made a mistake once during Thanksgiving. In my baked beans, I put hamburger in it, and so I was sitting there and I was stirring it up and I was cooking it and having a good time because I love to cook. And the next thing I know, I am sick. Like, I have this terrible headache and I have to go lay down while, my entire family is at my house, and there I am having to go lay down. And then just yesterday, which is the reason that I decided to make this video, because people just don't understand how severe it can become. Yesterday I was playing with my daughter. She's just a little over 1, and she still has her passy. And she had bacon earlier that morning, and like I said, I was playing around, joking with her, and I took her passy and I stuck it in my mouth, pretending like I was going to steal it from her. As soon as I did that, I realized that I had made a very bad mistake. The grease from the bacon was still on her pacifier. Instantly, my lips started to swell. They went numb, tingling. Part of my face was starting to swell. Quickly, I went and I washed my face and brushed my teeth because the pacifier went into my mouth, of course. And I fortunately did not have to use an EpiPen, and I have never had to use an EpiPen, but that's how quickly things can turn south and you don't even realize it. it is just as severe as any, peanut allergy or anything like that. The way that you find out that you have this is very, very tricky. For me, I knew that I had gotten bit by something. I had a bite on my leg, and it just wasn't getting any better, and it actually started to turn colors. About a week in, I went on a field trip with my daughter in her daycare, and that morning when I woke up, the site where I had been bitten was purple. I went on with my business as I normally do. We stopped at a local restaurant, and I got a club, and it had some ham on it. About 2 hours later, I was physically sick, like to my stomach, and I actually had to leave the field trip early with my daughter and drive an hour and a half home. Just she and I, and very sick. With that being said, the next week and a half, I was laid up in the bed, vomiting and sick. Nothing would stay down. I called it the flu on steroids. And it just so happened that I found out that I was pregnant with Mr. Hudson here. And so everybody was telling me, oh, it's just the baby, it's just the baby. Hudson is my third child. So I am quite used to all the pregnancy, crazy nausea, sickness. And this just wasn't what it was. And I kept telling everybody this isn't what it is. And finally, probably about the second or third day that I started to feel halfway decent, where I wasn't in the bathroom every 2 seconds. My husband decided we should go to the hospital. When I did that, they did all kinds of blood work and everything, and they gave me 2 bags of fluid because I was so dehydrated. And a couple weeks later, when my labs came back, is when we found out that I did in fact have alpha-gal. For those of you that are wondering what exactly it is, it's from the Lone Star tick, and this tick has a white dot on its back. Dot on the back looks like a star, so it is called the Lone Star tick. Anyways, and if this tick bites you, then you have kind of a 50-50 chance of whether or not you're going to get it or not. Sorry, he's really upset. Anyways, and if you want to know the cure for it, there isn't one. There's no cure for it. There is, however, the chance that you can kind of outgrow it. I don't know. You can just suffer through it, I guess. And what I mean by that is there are plenty of cases where people have had this for 6 to 8 years, and they slowly reintroduce the meats into their diet, and they can live pretty normal lives. So that's your best hope. Now, some people are sitting there going, well, that doesn't sound that bad. It's just a little bit of food. No. Think about it. It is literally in everything. No more bacon, no more sausage, no more deer, no more jerky, no more hamburger, no more tacos for Taco Tuesday. That's kind of a big deal. And also, they are finding out now, since we are having so many reactions, all of us that do have this, it is literally in everything. Bottled water is actually filtered through bone char. It's in sugar. It's in literally everything. Whey protein if you work out a lot. It's everywhere. When I had him, I had to tell them about all of my allergies and everything, because it's literally in, not in IV drops, thankfully, but it's in all the medications and everything that they give you, so you have to be so specific. I know one girl, she is completely and utterly almost non-functional because hers is so bad, and she couldn't even take any pain medications after she had her child. I mean, it's become that prevalent, and it's aggressive. But I mean, you know, I just wanted to do this video just to kind of tell people about it and know how it is for us. Some of my friends can't even go to restaurants because of the smell alone. I have one friend, her husband can't even cook meat in their house because the smell will make her break out into hives and go into anaphylactic shock. It's very scary, but we get questions on it so often, and we just want to make people more aware. I'm not going to go into any details of exactly, you know, what it does and how it works and all this, because I'm not a doctor. I do want to make people more aware of how prevalent this is, and there are several of us out there that are suffering with this. I have done extremely well, but I have some friends that have lost, you know, 30, 40 pounds, and they're literally a bag of bones because they can't keep anything down. And, you know, it's hard. You can't, your food is so minimalized, but you know, sometimes the questions that people ask and how they say, oh, you're just faking it, you want to become a vegetarian, because many people that have this have just become vegetarians, that you are willing to do anything and everything not to disturb it. When you hear people say that they have something like this, just don't dismiss it so quickly. Just really hear them out, and, you know, just try to be a little comforting because we really are struggling sometimes. But anyways, I am Sandy. I am a mom of 3. I have a kind of lifestyle channel where I talk about my allergy. I talk about cooking, just some southern living mommy type videos. I am a mom of 3, and I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. Until the next time, guys.